When Kihachiro Aratake dived 111 kilometers from the east shore of Taiwan, he was expecting to see hammerhead sharks, coral reefs, and a vibrant marine community. However, what he saw instead was alarming and questionable, and has had scientists scratching their heads for years. The Yonaguni Monument is a real head-scratcher, not just because of its mysterious origins, but also because of its surprisingly shallow depth. We're talking about a top terrace barely 5 meters below the surface and the main pyramid only reaching down to 25 meters. No wonder it's become the sweet spot for freedivers and a hot tourist attraction, but hold on to your flippers because those currents near the steps are like a whirlpool on steroids. Trying to go deeper? Good luck with that. It's like trying to swim against a tsunami. If you're not hanging onto the rock for your dear life or kicking those fins like a pro, you're basically just treading water. Now, if you're brave enough to enter through the arch gateway, you'll notice the twin monolith and the grand staircase to the main terraces. Once you make it to the top terrace, keep an eye out for those straight carved canyons that could pass as some ancient drainage system. And hey, don't forget to say hi to the turtle statue before you head up for your safety stop. Sure, there's a ton to see at the Yonaguni Monument, but with those currents raging, most divers barely last longer than 40 minutes. We owe the discovery of this great mystery to one brave man who decided to take the risk and swim against the wild torrents. Back in 1986, Kihachiro Aratake, just your average underwater explorer extraordinaire, was doing his thing around Yonaguni Island in Okinawa. As he paddles through the shallows, what does he stumble upon? None other than a gigantic pyramid-like structure just chilling casually on the ocean floor. What are the odds, right? He dubbed it the underwater Machu Picchu, but these days the dive spot goes by the Japanese moniker Kaite Iseki, translating to the monument on the bottom of the sea. This bad boy stood 25 meters tall, 100 meters long and 60 meters wide, with edges so clean you could eat off them, not that you'd want to, mind you. Made of shale and sandstone, this relic from the Jurassic period covers a whopping 45,000 square meters. Talk about a rock-solid discovery, and guess what? We still haven't figured out how it got there. Time to call in the underwater archaeologist or maybe even Aquaman himself. It's been 37 years since the monument was discovered, yet its true origins elude us and remain shrouded in mystery. Diving into the depths of intrigue, the Yonaguni Monument, often dubbed Japan's Atlantis, has stirred up intense discussion since its unearthing in the 1980s. From speculations of a purely natural genesis to bold claims of ancient human craftsmanship, the true nature of this underwater enigma continues to baffle us. Beneath the waves encircling Yonaguni Island in Japan lie the towering remnants of what some believe to be a 10,000-year-old city constructed by a long-lost civilization, or so the story goes, at least according to many experts. The mesmerizing formations include a stacked pyramid-like monument, as well as structures reminiscent of castle remnants, temples, an arch, and even a stadium, all seemingly linked by roads. Yet, not everyone buys into the concept of a Japanese Atlantis. Who built the Yonaguni? When did they build it, and how? Speculations, theories, and controversies are all we have. What was solid, however, were the two significant expeditions that were conducted at the site in 1986 and 1997. Unfortunately, neither managed to reach a conclusive verdict. However, several compelling assumptions have emerged from the evidence. So here's a few things they discovered. Firstly, despite its appearance resembling that of a pyramid or a structured building with steps, attempting to ascend these steps is impractical due to their immense size. Secondly, the interpretation of rocks as potential animal statues may simply be a case of pareidolia, a common phenomenon where the mind perceives familiar shapes or patterns in random objects, akin to spotting faces in clouds. Lastly, historians have often dismissed the narrative surrounding the lost continent of Mu as a dubious mistranslation lacking substantial historical corroboration. This evidence still doesn't answer the who, when, and why questions, but there are a number of theories that do. Let's start with the who question. Who built Yonaguni? We are down to the age-old debate. Is it natural wonder or an ancient handiwork? Masaki Kimura, a scholar from the University of the Ryukyus, firmly believes in ancient architecture. He is on a mission to convince the world that what we're dealing with here is no natural formation, but a handcrafted marvel dating back a cool 10,000 years. And get this, it's supposedly a leftover piece of the legendary lost land of Mu.
Mu, the Pacific's very own Atlantis, vanished in a cataclysmic event, leaving behind a trail of myths and legends to rival any bedtime story. Sure, academics might roll their eyes, but Kimura's not one to shy away from a good yarn. So, what's his evidence, you ask? Well, for starters, Japan's prime spot in the Ring of Fire means it's no stranger to regular earthquakes and volcanic rumblings. Add to that the relentless onslaught of brutal typhoons, and you've got a recipe for potential land-shifting antics beneath the waves. Kimura pointed out some possible animal statues, rock carvings, and mysterious holes that could have held ancient posts. And let's not forget about those straight lines, sharp corners, and what he swears are steps, avenues, canals, the whole shebang. Robert Schoch, a professor at Boston University who has personally investigated the site, expressed his belief that the Yonaguni Monument, as it's commonly referred to, is not of human origin. According to him, the monument is just Mother Nature showing off her sculpting skills.
He explained to National Geographic that the structure's platforms and terraces can be attributed to fundamental geological processes and typical sandstone stratigraphy. In regions characterized by numerous faults and tectonic activity, sandstones often fracture along distinct planes, resulting in the formation of remarkably straight edges. The numerous well-defined parallel bedding planes ready to separate at the slightest touch make it appear like a giant sand castle waiting to crumble, creating those so perfect rectangular and symmetrical formations that are too good to be true. Those carvings that look like they were chiseled by master craftsmen. Schoch is not buying it. He's convinced they're all part of nature's grand design, no human intervention necessary. Looks like Mother Nature's got a sense of humor too, throwing us a curveball with this underwater masterpiece. Formations such as these are not as uncommon as you would think. Schoch further explains that such 90-degree angles occur in sandstone when erosion takes place. The area's naturally strong currents also shaped it. He even points to similar formations north of Yonaguni. So, Kimura says it's the Mu people, Schoch says it's nature, and some other people believe it is the Jomon people. There's a school of thought suggesting that the monument could have been the handiwork of the Jomon people. The Jomon people are ancient hunter-gatherers who roamed the Japanese archipelago until around 300 BC, laying the foundation for what would become the Yamato Japanese, the vast majority of Japan's population today. Why? Well, because at first glance the structure appears to bear the marks of deliberate construction, fueling speculation among enthusiasts. Plus, there's something undeniably romantic about the notion of an ancient underwater city lurking beneath the waves. This next theory might raise an eyebrow, but let's hear it. Some people believe that the Yonaguni was built by aliens. You probably think this theory is just as true as unicorns are. But putting aside the sci-fi fantasies, there's a more grounded theory to consider, the possibility of both natural and human influences shaping the monument. What if the Yonaguni Monument started off as a natural formation, but then ancient folks came along and gave it a little tweak with their stone tools? Voila, modification magic. As time marched on and sea levels rose, the structure took a dip underwater, joining the ranks of other submerged wonders across the globe. But here's the kicker. The sheer scale and precision of the monument's features make you wonder, were these ancient builders ahead of their time, or are we underestimating the power of Mother Nature's handiwork? But when was the monument built? Now, when it comes to dating the Yonaguni Monument, things get a bit dicey. Initially, Professor Kimura was all in, deducing it must be a whopping 10,000 years old based on coral samples and whatnot. But then, in a plot twist, a new study in 2003 shook things up, suggesting a much more recent age of 2,000 to 3,000 years old. Talk about a roller coaster ride of uncertainty. Hold on, there's more. This dating dilemma has sparked all sorts of wild theories. Some folks argue that it's downright impossible for our cave-dwelling ancestors to have whipped up such a massive structure. To put things in perspective, if we're talking about the Great Pyramid, it would be like saying, hey, it only took us 20 years to build this colossal masterpiece. Cue the eyebrow raises and skeptical glances. And don't even get me started on those suspicious theories about the pyramids in Egypt. You know, the ones that have people whispering about advanced civilizations and alien architects. Honestly, sometimes it's like a never-ending saga of pseudo-archaeological intrigue. The exact date of the Yonaguni Monument's construction is still a subject of debate among researchers and scholars today. The purpose behind its construction is equally uncertain. With various theories proposed over the years, those who believe in its artificial origin suggest that it may have served as a religious or ceremonial site, a navigational marker, or even a defensive structure. However, skeptics argue that the monument is simply a natural geological formation shaped by erosion, faulting, and other environmental processes. Ultimately, the true origins and purpose of the Yonaguni Monument remain shrouded in mystery, inviting further exploration and investigation into this enigmatic underwater marvel. As you descend deeper, the monument reveals its secrets layer by layer. As we delve into the deepest mysteries of Yonaguni, each revelation, from its celestial alignment to its enigmatic origins, adds another layer to this captivating puzzle. But we need to bring our explorations to a close. What makes this culmination point truly mesmerizing is the questions it raises. Is Yonaguni the handiwork of ancient civilizations, meticulously crafted thousands of years ago, or merely the product of natural geological processes, sculpted by time and tides? To wrap up, we'd like to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Also, remember to subscribe to MHistory for more captivating historical journeys. Thank you for joining us on this voyage where the mysteries of the past reveal themselves. See you in the next one.